morning, everyone. It is Tuesday, November 4th, 2024. Thank you all for tuning in to the presentation for Saugeen First Nations 5-Year Strategic Plan. Saugeen has spent many years attempting to finalize this strategic plan, but through COVID and multiple changes in leadership, both administratively and in council, we have had yet to do so. We have had some really good engagement that has built out this current plan to date, and the input from community and staff thus far is valued. We are doing a final round of engagement with the goal to finalize the strategic plan by the end of the calendar year and begin implementation January 2025. This will assist program managers in developing their work plans for the coming fiscal year and each year after that up until 2030. So this is what we're going to take you through today. It's somewhat of a lengthy presentation, so I hope you please take the time to follow through with us and write down any thoughts or questions that you might have, and you can reach out to me with them via email, phone, or at one of the planned engagement sessions. Back in November 2023, Chief and Council did some strategic planning workshops and envisioning. We had a graphic facilitator come in and did a lot of work into exploring what the goals and hopes are for the future. We took the time to identify how Chief and Council wanted to work together to create a strong leadership for the community. This graphic is the result of that. We also have this message from Chief and Council. We commit to creating an open and honest dialogue, moving through our differences and working together as a team to create a strong leadership for our community. We want to walk together with membership to explore traditional governance and begin creating solutions and opportunities to the issues we face today. So what is a strategic plan? A strategic plan identifies the destination of where we want our nation to be and provides Chief and Council and the administration with directions as to how to get there. It is our plan that reflects the needs and priorities of our members and the vision for our nation. It provides a guide to help us work together, stay true to our values, and be more accountable and transparent to our membership. The strategic plan guides our decision-making and helps evaluate progress towards our goals and monitor the performance of our nation's administration. So through the workshop last term, this graphic was created for our vision. It encompasses the previous community engagement and the work done over the last couple years. A vision statement is important to help us stay focused on where we want to be in 5 years. Within it, we have reclaimed Anishinaabe nationhood and strong governance, strong economy and self-sufficiency and financial capacity, infrastructure that supports our community, language, culture, teaching, ceremonies are strong, a safe community, and a healthy community. Our mission is working together and engaging the membership of Saugeen to provide strong governance and the enhancement of culture, language, community, relationships, and programming. By moving forward together in a positive and harmonious way, we can create opportunities for growth and development of a safer, healthier, and more sustainable community. These are our values. Wisdom, to acknowledge our past, present, and future and continue to learn and grow from it. Love, to have kindness for all creation and strive for community healing and wellness. Respect, to acknowledge all voices and give patience and understanding to all. Bravery, to trust one to make decisions that are for the best interest of the community as a whole. Honesty, to provide transparency through effective communication. Humility, to be accountable, recognizing strengths and weaknesses, and practicing self-reflection. Truth, to know our identity, culture, and language, and carry these teachings with us. In order to plan for our future, it is important for us to acknowledge and know our history and carry it with us. This is just a very brief history of some of the monumental moments in Saugeen's history. So continuing on into the First Nation profile, our location, 6 Cameron Drive, Southampton, Ontario. Our current population is 2,002 registered members. Our current Chief and Council is Chief Conrad Ritchie and Councillors Randall Coggy, Sonia Root, Lester Anaquat, Audra Root, Cherie Urschler, Letitia Thompson, Teresa Root, and Lauren Mandawab. Our current senior management team consists of the band administrator, Jerry Glover, our senior finance officer, Lisa Bender, Director of Community and Social Services, Nicole Diatri, and our Health Director, Carla Glover. Here we have a list of our current program and departments. Let's now dive into our analysis. So again, it's important to look back at our recent history to identify the issues or major events that have led us to where we currently are. During the last strategic planning workshop, we created the timeline that you see here, taking us back to 2017. You can see how things have exponentially increased in the more recent years. At the bottom there, you can see how the opioid crisis has had its negative effect on our community with increased crimes and deaths. COVID was another pivotal turning point for the community, causing increased social and mental health issues, increased costs of goods, foods, services, and shelter. We are also having increased interest by proponents in our territory that are putting pressure on leadership and membership to make large decisions. It's also apparent how the federal government's laws, decisions, and commitments can create a ripple effect and trickle down onto us. Now, this graphic doesn't just capture the issues, though. It also shows our accomplishments along the way. So let's take a look at our achievements over the last 5 years. We won our Eastern Boundary Land Claim and our Treaty 72 land claim. We had a successful OPG-TGR vote, which the community voted no, and that was respected. We had the construction of the governance building and the construction of the ball diamonds. We had internet infrastructure upgraded and an increase in our housing stock. We have increased health and wellness resources for the community, and we built a hospice-like space. And more recently, we had the ratification of the Zagadawin Child and Family Wellbeing Law. We also did some work to identify our current landscape. This includes our possibilities, opportunities, successes, and strengths, and some trends that we have seen through the last few years. That then takes us into our SWOT analysis. The last two graphics really helped inform this analysis, where we further identify our strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats. Our strengths include connection to land and water, youth and elders, language, culture, and history, stewardship, recognition and assertion of our territory, knowledge keepers, leaderships past and present, families and connection, health and wellness resources, infrastructure such as water, roads, internet, negotiators are smart and strong, and reassertion of our child welfare. Our weaknesses include the opioid crisis, a lot of overdoses, lack of policing, restricted under the Indian Act, lack of members in the workplace, dependency, lack of funding, inadequate and lacking enough housing, length of leadership term creates inconsistency, segregation, still catching up after COVID, always reactive versus proactive, and human resource capacity. Our opportunities are implementation of laws and codes, reestablishing policing, increasing funding and revenue sources, succession planning, headhunting our own band members, building our own schools, building local economy, business and tourism, internal and external collaborations, increased levels of education. And our threats are opioid crisis, increased crime and safety concerns, increased presence of non-members in community, inflation, Bill C-53, recognition of Métis, federal government commitment to nuclear, safe long-term storage of nuclear waste, land claim appeals, increased proponent activity in our territory, intergenerational trauma, and homelessness. Based on our analysis and review of our vision and mission for our nation, the values we want to live by, acknowledgement of our challenges and successes over the past 5 years, our current state, and conversations with our membership, council, and administration, we have identified 7 key priorities and supporting activities that will propel our nation forward in achieving the aspirations and hopes for our community. As you can see here in this graphic, our analysis is what helped inform and shape our strategic priorities. And working on those priorities are going to lead us closer to our vision for our community. So the 7 strategic priorities are economic development, health and wellness, education, language and culture, housing and infrastructure, land, jurisdiction, and community safety, and leadership. Economic development. The goal for this is to generate enough revenue to be self-sustaining. The activities that fall under this priority are to finalize the Economic Development Strategic Plan, revitalize the Economic Development Corporation, secure funding and complete the amphitheater rehabilitation, update and implement the Sauble Park Beach operational strategy, incorporating North Sauble into the strategy, begin feasibility study on Sauble Park Tourism Hub, revisit the Village Saugeen Story Report, explore opportunity for new relocated Saugeen Gas Bar with addition of Tim Hortons, and explore hunting and fishing camps in a tourism lens. Health and wellness is our next priority. The goal for this is that all Saugeen members are healthy and active and have access to holistic healing and wellness services, inclusive of Western approaches, that empower them to achieve their personal wellness goals. The activities within this would be revisit the Food Sustainability Hub, complete environmental scan and needs assessment to identify existing gaps, explore opportunities for medical equipment such as ultrasounds, x-rays, dialysis, improve relationships with hospitals to improve quality of service provided, explore funding for territory treatment facility, secure funding and implement the Saugeen Trail Development Plan, maximize access to external funding, and develop a health strategic plan. Our next priority is education, training, and employment. The goal is that education, training, and employment is culturally relevant, community-based, encourages strong graduation rates, a skilled labor force, and develops role models within the community to encourage and inspire our youth. Activities within would be update the education policy, continue enhancing relationships with schools, offering more resources to students, enhance educational awareness, collaborate with educational institutes for training opportunities in the community, create fund to support students in trades, private colleges, begin feasibility study for community school, finalize renovations at the training center for enhanced programming space, and customize membership recruitment process for hiring SFN. Next is jurisdiction, land, and community safety. The goal is implementing the ratification process on the areas of law where we want to move away from the Indian Act and improve our ability to provide community safety. The activities within this would be revisit the Land Management Act, continue advocating for police funding, explore own restorative court systems, reducing speed limits in residential areas, establish membership and residency codes, build a robust child and family well-being program, and develop land use plan. We then have infrastructure and housing. The goal is the development of a plan and timeline for infrastructure development based on community needs that is not impacted by change in leadership. Activities within would be secure funding and complete a comprehensive capital planning study, revitalize the Operations and Infrastructure Committee, develop process for capital projects, finalize housing strategic plan and begin implementation, finalize closure of landfill and construction of transfer station, conduct feasibility study for water treatment plant and wastewater treatment plant, and explore infrastructure to enhance economic opportunities. We then have language and culture, the goal being pride and empowerment through knowledge of culture, identity, history, language, spirituality. Activities within would be implement cultural safety and cultural sensitivity for all staff and organizations working with SFN. Create committee of knowledge keepers to be a resource to all programs, staff, students, and members of SFN. Include language and culture in all program mandates, work plans, scopes of work, including committees. Review existing cultural plan from 2010 and update to reflect the new cultural building and programming. Revisit food sustainability hub. Implement fund to support 2 to 4 community members to attend full immersion language programs. Reintegrate language program for staff and community. And introduce more practices of looking after Mother Earth. And lastly, we have leadership. The goal being Saugeen First Nation has a strong, united leadership who are committed, qualified, and have knowledge of our history and are respectable. There is open communication between staff and community. Activities within this would be develop and implement Chief and Council orientation package, develop and implement administration orientation package, committees to meet monthly, host quarterly community meetings, ratify governance law and election code, all council and staff to follow policies and organizational structure, implementation of strategic plan by all, and develop terms of reference for all committees. So now that we have identified the strategic priorities and the activities within them, we can build them into our upcoming year's activities, and the remaining will be placed into the following years and into various other plans, such as employee work plans, departmental budgets, capital plans, financial plans, etc. This will really help to create that roadmap and ensuring success of the initiatives within. And of course, there will be reporting to the membership annually. Council will include an update on our performance towards our strategic priorities in each annual report prepared for our members. The annual update will include, at a minimum, performance highlights, analysis of goals and objectives, financial statements, supporting notes, photos, and graphics, auditor's report, and financial information summary. This brings us to the end of the presentation. If you have any questions, comments, or suggestions, please feel free to reach out to me. My information is shown here, or please come on out to one of the various community sessions over the next 2 months. I will be compiling all the feedback received and, where necessary, including it into this current plan, which will then be updated and presented for a final time in December. Thank you everybody for your time today. Bamampi.